Hi, this is Larry DeMarco, and welcome to another episode of Pennsylvania Voter Information Network. We are here with the Philadelphia Bar Association Chancellor Forum's District Attorney's race. Today we have the profile and answers of Judge Teresa Carr Deni. Her website is seen below, where you can get more information about her and her candidacy. In her early professional career, Judge Deni served in a number of legal capacities with the City of Philadelphia. She worked with the City Solicitors Office, the Office of Housing and Community Development, and the Board of Revision of Taxes. She then went into her own private firm where she practiced criminal law and became a chair of the criminal justice section of the Philadelphia Bar Association. For the past 21 years, she's been a judge. She has distinguished herself as honest, fair, and thoughtful. She has been assigned almost 100,000 cases, both criminal and civil, and she takes pride in creating a courtroom environment of respect and discipline. Her colleagues describe her as tough but compassionate. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Judge Deni.
That's the first question. As required by law, if there's a warrant, the information will be shared. Additionally, if it's a crime of serious violence, the information will be shared. So on a case-by-case basis, that decision will be made. There's no blanket policy on the answer to that question.
Thank you, Mr. Shabazz. Judge Deni.
There's currently legislation in Harrisburg that attempted to correct some of the problems with the Civil Forfeiture Act. For example, making due process a requirement. And what my understanding of how it is working currently is that owners are not necessarily notified. Some of these owners are out of their properties, so there's no attempt to find them. A notice goes to the house. Most of these cases are won by default because the owner of the property doesn't show up for court because they don't know about it. So there has to be a notice to the owner and an opportunity for the owner to be heard. I think if we do make it the criminal aspect so that there's due process, that we have to appoint court-appointed counsel for these people, and that any money that is seized properly should be used to pay the counsel that is representing the people whose property is being unjustly seized. So I think there are a number of changes that could be made to the statute. Of course, all of the purpose of the current statute has been to correct these improprieties, but of course it's being shaved down as we speak and leaving it back exactly where it is. So we need some kind of lobby up there to help us get what we know needs to be done to fix these problems.
Thank you, Mr. Shabazz and Judge Deni.
All right, thank you. I think we have to look back. Let's look back to 31 years ago when I started practicing in Philadelphia and I started taking court appointments. I don't know whether people realize that the attorneys at that time were being paid $15 an hour. And to get $125 through the courts to hire an investigator in a case, and even when I got to the point where I was doing death penalty cases, and I've done a good dozen of them, it was very hard to get any kind of adequate funding from the defense. Just wasn't happening. That's why so many of these cases are worth looking at, because the resources were so slim. So in terms of whether Justice Castile, it was just a brief administrative act, that's insulting. When somebody's life is on the line, he absolutely should not have made that decision. He should have stepped aside. And to look at any death penalty case as though it's nothing but an administrative decision is an insult to the citizens of this city. Many prior convictions, especially those from 30 and some years ago, they're worthy of a second look, especially when people are doing life in prison and long terms, because the defense in most of those cases was inadequately funded.
Your Honor.
I will not. I'm sorry.
Judges.
I will not enforce low-level mandatory minimum sentences for low-level drug cases. In fact, I don't approve of mandatory minimum sentences in just about any case. and that includes the homicides. I remember years ago when the feds first instituted the policy of mandatory minimums. And what it has led to is whoever decides to give testimony against another person kind of wins the prize and gets out with the least sentence. And it's kind of an incentive to lie. And I think it has really poisoned the fairness, not just on the federal level, but of course on the city level. And I think it's really wonderful that they've been found unconstitutional, and why the district, I know that why they want to put it back together, because they claim that this is how they get the big drug dealers, by getting these little people, but I don't think that there's integrity to a lot of those prosecutions. So therefore, that's the position I would take.
Judge Deni.
The diversionary programs in Philadelphia are working. Excuse me. People are being offered treatment, and they are being offered treatment before they are prosecuted. And I've been told that the population, for example, of Riverside Prison has decreased over the past year by 25% by the new approaches that are being taken in municipal court through the MacArthur grant. One cannot walk down the street with a bottle of alcohol in one's hand without getting a citation. However, apparently one can smoke marijuana on the street for a less expensive citation. I don't want my children to see either of those behaviors normalized. I think if it's going to be a $25 ticket for marijuana, it should be a $25 ticket for alcohol. Or, in the alternative, that it should be the citation situation that's presently in place for alcohol also applied to marijuana. I don't want to see people out on the sidewalk smoking marijuana, and I don't want my children to see it. We have to give these diversion programs more time and more resources, and we will meet our goal of decreasing mass incarceration much quicker than we have predicted.
Next.
The person currently in that position is an excellent lawyer, and she is the type of person that I would like to see continue in that position.
That's Kathleen Martin.
That's right.
Again, I'm going to stick to
Judge Deni.
Well, I think we have to apply some common sense. For one thing, when there's an investigation going on, I think it's a mistake for the police to drive up in a police car to a witness's house and let the whole neighborhood know that they're the source of the information that's getting somebody arrested. Secondly, I think we should move the preliminary hearings back to the police districts so that everybody doesn't have to pay the freight to get into town. It's very expensive to park. You're stuck there all day. If this is moved back into the districts, it'll make it a lot more convenient for the people who are interested in seeking prosecutions. Thirdly, I think in the domestic violence area especially, and of course to try it in some other areas, we should offer the option of restorative justice. I understand that some people are afraid that this is something that would be imposed. I am thinking that more in terms of the complainant having the option, because it is often a husband, a lover, a father who they don't want incarcerated, but they want help.
All right, so we're going back to our one.
Well, the police officers you're referring to were acquitted in federal court. I have to point that out.
I didn't say anyone's name. About 100 cops have been arrested in the last
Well, I
5
was
years.
assuming you're talking about the most recent situation. And when you also said that all the judges were aware that there was something fishy, I have to respectfully disagree with that assumption. Because in my case that is not correct. You evaluate each case on a case-by-case basis, and that's all I can say about how you prosecute based on the arrest and whether or not you think it's credible.
And with that, we will begin our closing statements. Beginning with Judge Deni, 1 minute and 30 seconds to tell why all these people here from the Philadelphia Bar Association and from the community, why they should vote for you, number one, and number two, why they should tell other people to go and vote for you.
Thank you. Well, I think that I have the most experience in the most diverse positions of all the candidates that are running, in that I did work as a criminal defense attorney for 10 years before I got on the bench, municipal court bench, through which passed every type of case into including preliminary hearings for capital murder in the city of Philadelphia. I've interacted with, I would say, many of the police officers, many of the DAs, many of the PDs, many of the private counsel. I'm familiar not just with their reputations, but how they behave in court. I like to believe that the decision by the jury will be respected. Since, for example, that I'll just jump back for a second, that narcotics union was disbanded, we now have an open-air market in Kensington, and which is being advertised as the place to get the purest, cheapest heroin. So we've got to get something organized to fight this drug epidemic. I have that experience. I did serve in the Philadelphia Bar Association as chair of the criminal justice section. I've put together many programs to help the defense attorneys and the district attorneys try to see both sides of cases. And let's see. Well, I have leadership ability.
And that's your time, Justin.